Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Walking Dead character video. Today we will be looking at Quan, a saviour, worker turned Hilltop militia member and part-time moonshine maker. Quan is of course male. He is played by Quande Stewart. He is early to mid-20s in Season 7 and late 20s to early 30s in Season 10. Nothing is known about Quan's life pre-outbreak, aside he may have had a passion for moonshine distilling. When the outbreak began, Quan eventually found the Saviours and the Sanctuary. He joined this brutal group, opting to become a worker at the Sanctuary in order to earn points and have some sort of a life. It's unclear what work Quan did, but seeing as he later becomes a distiller, it's possible he was making his moonshine here and selling it for points. In Season 7, Quan walks around the Sanctuary, most likely selling his booze or some other service. He later watches Emmett Carson be executed by Negan after supposedly the Doc was having an affair with Sherry. In Season 8, Quan is present in the Sanctuary when it is attacked by Rick and his band of men, and he's trapped when they draw walkers to the Sanctuary. Later, when Daryl blows a hole through a wall, Quan is seen rushing up the stairs to safety. Apparently later Quan helps to shoot walkers outside the Sanctuary in order to clear a path, although I couldn't find him, but maybe he's there. Quan is seen walking around the factory floor as the Saviours prepare for their final ambush against Rick's group, but Quan remains back at the Sanctuary for the battle. Later, sometime after the Saviours are defeated, Quan is seen gardening at the Sanctuary, watering his plants. He doesn't take too much notice of the bus arriving carrying more labour and more glass, because he's focused on his plants, goddammit. In between Rick's disappearance and the Season 6 big-ass time jump, Quan left the Sanctuary after it fell. He decided to relocate to the Hilltop, and whilst there, he met a man who went by the name of Papa Bear. Now, Quan and Papa Bear, they became the best of friends, and they began to distill moonshine together as a hobby and as a passion, making their famous Hilltop hooch, the lightning shine. Good. In Season 9, both Quan and Papa Bear are seen carrying barrels of their latest concoction. They see Carol, Daryl and Henry arrive. They seem so happy. I hope it's some good strong stuff. He then probably sees Daryl and co head out. You'll never guess it, but Quan is seen sometime after carrying something else as Henry trains to be a blacksmith. And later on, Quan is seen sat with the other Hilltoppers and enjoying a nice fresh meal. Some days later, Quan and some other guards go to Kelly to escort her back to the Hilltop after they tried to leave to look for their missing friend Luke. Quan might have been the guard who caught them sneaking out. As they're walking, the Whisperers show up and Quan prevents Kelly from running to help her sister Connie, who is lagging behind, and can't hear the incoming Whisperers because of her deafness. He drags Kelly back into the fence of the community and then rushes up to the main gate to be behind the walls. It appears Quan tells his best friend about those weird-ass Whisperers showing up, and it also looks like he tries to help locate Lydia when she can't be found, and this woman is also helping him. He then watches and stands ready with a spear when Daryl trades Lydia for Luke and Alden. Days after this, Quan prepares for the fair at the Kingdom, and travels there with his friend Papa Bear. They listen to Ezekiel's speech announcing the fair, and he's drinking some of his moonshine, so is Papa Bear, you know. Quan claps as the fair begins. He and Papa Bear set up their stall, and him and the bear try to sell some of their moonshine to some people at the fair. Oh, cheeky. Later they return to their stall to try and sell some more moonshine brew. The stall is called Hilltop Hooch plus Papa Quan's Lightning Shine. He seems to give this one man a try of his shine, and then the man sniffs it and doesn't seem to like how strong that shit is. Despite a successful day of Quan selling his lightning shine, at the end of the fair, Quan is sad to hear about the beheadings committed by Alpha, listening to Sadiq's boring, sad-ass speech. God, Sadiq, why'd you have to bring the mood down? In between Season 9 and 10, Quan briefly moved to Alexandria to help with security there. He's seen helping defeat the 48-hour wave of the dead sent to Alexandria, and he attends the meeting on what to do and is assigned to be in Gabriel's group in order to guard the gate from the northern wave. He listens to Gabriel give instructions. He then kills the incoming walkers for the next 2 days. Now I think this is Quan participating in Aaron's training exercise. He has the bag over his head pretending to be a whisperer, and the man he spars with fails and Aaron tells the man how he went wrong. Some point after this, Quan decided to return to the Hilltop, or he was assigned back there, and he helps to guard the community when he returns. After being instructed they're evacuating to Oceanside, Quan helps to carry a large crate to a wagon, likely containing food. He then sees the wagon containing the kids heading out first. However, when the kid carrying wagon returns, he listens to Daryl inform everyone that the roads have been blocked and that they're going to have to make a stand for the Hilltop. He does a Shane head rub, stressed out it seems. He then hears Earl's war cry and begins to get ready for battle. Quan then helps to defend the Hilltop when the Whisperers and their herd attack. They're all eventually pushed back inside when the Whisperers use tree sap and fire to set the Hilltop alight. Quan is stationed at the catapults, helping to load and fire them at the Whisperer herd. He fires a load, then heaves that catapult back down in order to reload it once more. Eventually a wall comes down and Quan helps to defend the herd of dead breaking in, but eventually they're all overwhelmed and people begin to flee. And Quan is sadly killed off screen by either walkers, the fire, or a Whisperer. It's possible he turned into a walker and joined Alpha's herd. If so, his walker self has either wandered off away from the herd, or it's still out there as a zombie, or it was put down by a random survivor, or walker zombie Quan fell off the cliff when Carol led the herd there in the finale. Or maybe he just never turned and he just died. Either way, R.I.P. Quan. I hope Papa Bear dealt with his death. I hope things aren't so hard running that moonshine company on your own. Anyway, Quan was a background character, but there's a story there, okay? I mean, he was a saviour, likely hustling and getting by selling some moonshine or doing his gardening work, alright? And then my man upgrades to the Hilltop. He makes his moonshine there and finds the greatest best friend in the world, Papa Bear. He then tragically dies helping to defend the community that gave him his passion for moonshining and the place where he met everyone's favourite bear. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tell me your thoughts on Quan, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.